over 600,000 people go missing in the United States each year. Tens of thousands remain mysteriously missing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mysteriously Missing. I'm Justine.
Welcome back. I'm Karen.
Today's episode, we are going to be talking about Maria Llamas, and her nickname is Yaya, and she has been missing since November 20th of 2016.
This episode takes place in San Antonio, Texas, in Bexar County.
Now, Maria was last seen at the PoTeet Flea Market. She had told her husband, Refugio, she didn't like the music playing and wanted to leave. On the way to the parking lot, her husband had stopped to look at a display when he turned around and Maria was gone. And it took about 34 seconds that he had been, looking at this display and realized she had been missing.
Very fast.
Yeah, so when she went missing, she was 69 years old. And her current age is 72 years old, and she is Hispanic or Latino.
So according to her Help Find Maria Facebook page, she appears to have 3 daughters, Maria and Femia and Margarita, and a son, Junior. And all of them have taken turns being spokesperson for the missing page or missing Help Find Her. And we have some news clips later on in the podcast that they'll speak about their mother.
Now, Maria is about 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighs around 120 pounds. She has short, graying black hair, and her hair was frequently dyed black to cover up the gray. Her eye color is brown, and she did wear glasses. The jewelry that she had on was a silver necklace, and she does have her ears pierced. She wears upper and lower dentures, and Maria has a vaccination scar on her right arm and a mole on the left side of her upper lip. She does have a medical condition. She suffers from Alzheimer's disease and requires daily medication. She may be disoriented and may not recall her identity or where she lives. She has a history of wandering away, but before she'd always be found safe within an hour or two.
So let's get into the timeline. Maria was born in Mexico on December 19, 1946. She grew up on her parents' ranch in a rural area of Mexico. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's several years ago, and her husband is her main caretaker. She's lived in San Antonio, Texas area for more than 40 years. But because of her illness, she had come to believe she was young again and lived with her parents on their ranch in Mexico. Her parents have been deceased for over a decade. Before she went missing, she didn't know who she was, and Margie, her daughter, said in her mind she was a young girl living with her parents. We are desperately looking for her. As we're looking for her, she's looking for her own parents. My mother's disease has taken a turn for the worse over the past year. My mom had walked away from the house twice before this. We found her after an hour or two. And going on about their mother, she said she loves music at family gatherings. A lot of times we'd play music and she would grab whoever was closest and she wanted to dance. So she was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it seems like she's just so lost in her own mind, with this Alzheimer's disease, and that's what happens, but...
I've heard patients go back to when they were young, and that's what becomes their reality now, and it seems that that's what's going on for her.
Right.
But she's so loved by her family that they just... really enjoy having her around.
Mm-hmm. Now, November 20th of 2016, it's a Sunday, and this was the day of her disappearance. Maria and her husband went to church. She was wearing a black wool coat, a black and white blouse with black pants and black shoes. She had on a silver necklace and was carrying a crossbody handbag. After church, they went to the PoTeet Flea Market in the 12,200 block of State Highway 16 on the city's south side. Going to the flea market on Sunday afternoons was one of their favorite activities, Junior, her son, had said. That's their ritual every Sunday. So it sounded like they did this every week almost.
Yeah, it was a habit, and which is good for Alzheimer's patients to have these routines.
Yeah. Now, Femia, which is their daughter, she had stated, "My father would take her there so she could enjoy herself. She She loved to see the people dance there. And for some reason, Maria was unhappy that day. She told her husband she didn't like the music and wanted to leave. On the way to the parking lot, her husband had stopped at a stand to look at some boots. Now, Maria was right next to him. He stopped and then he said, "Hold on, wait a second," but she didn't hear him and she kept walking. According to Femia, Maria's husband was distracted for a second, and when he looked back, his wife was gone. The cameras at the flea market captured the moment she left. Security video from the flea market shows Maria wandering into the crowd and out of sight of her husband. You can see when he realizes that she's gone and he frantically is looking for her, Margie said. He heads in the direction they were walking originally to leave, but the video shows her heading a different way. Maria can be seen walking to a different exit, through the parking lot, and out of the entrance gate to the highway before she gets out of camera range.
That's not going to be good.
Mm-mm.
Immediately, Margie's dad called her and their 3 other siblings, who rushed to the flea market. And instead of getting a call to gather for soul food on Sunday that they usually did, the Llamas household children were getting a call that their mother had vanished. Until they saw that security video, they had no idea Maria had actually even left the flea market. Some people told the family they remember seeing her. We did get some people that said they saw her, that they almost ran over her, quoted one of the daughters. The only sighting family members were able to confirm was that from a woman who had a flat tire on the highway outside the flea market that Sunday afternoon. She told Margie she believed she saw Maria. Maria was disoriented and confused and told the woman that God was guiding her home. The woman attempted to tell a police officer nearby, but Maria soon walked out of sight. The comment about going home frightens Maria's family. As her Alzheimer's had progressed, they say Maria had started to believe that she was still on her parents' ranch.
So just to kind of recap everything, I mean, she was having a normal Sunday. They went to church, her and her husband. They go to this flea market every week. It's not a new place that she's going to.
Right. Lots of people, though, and she did get agitated.
She did, yeah.
Can happen to Alzheimer's patients. So something triggered her getting a little upset or not wanting to be there.
Right. So then she leaves and totally goes the wrong way. I mean,
well, and that's upsetting that she's going to the highway, because the Mexican border, if she's heading for a ranch, and let's say she stops on someone on the road and, gets a ride and says, "I'm heading to Mexico," and there's a little old lady, somebody might pick her up because she's, looks vulnerable. And that's 165 miles south, the Mexican border. And there's a couple of highways that run right down from where she was to the border, which is a 2.5-hour drive.
Right. I believe Highway 16 runs right by the flea market, and then Highway 35 and 16, which turns into Highway 59, are 2 interstates that go south to Mexico.
Right.
So she could easily have gotten a ride and just been totally, lost and thought she was going to Mexico. Yeah,
and I mean, if I was driving by, normally I wouldn't pick up hitchhikers, but she's a sweet-looking lady that, somebody may have wanted to help her. Yep. And then the answer from her is, I need to go to Mexico.
Yeah, or that she's lost.
Because that's all she knows.
Right. And Margie, one of the daughters, had told Dateline that she was gone instantly, and that is all it took for their lives to change. And now her family fears that she has wandered into the desert. According to the Farmer's Almanac, it was about 65 degrees that day and about 34 at night. So it got pretty chilly at night.
It's livable, but it is cold, and you don't want to expose her to the elements like that.
In the days after her disappearance, hundreds of people had helped search for her. Countless searches of the rugged terrain surrounding the flea market have been conducted, and searchers have hung thousands of flyers in and around San Antonio. Several sightings of Maria have been reported.
And we're going to get into some of these sightings a little bit later, and it's kind of taken a toll on the family because they've had to check all of these out. But, if you look at Google Maps right at the PoTeet Flea Market, there is a lot of fields. There's that Leon Creek right there. And if she didn't quite make it to the highway or get picked up, there's a lot of area there that she could have wandered and got lost.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're checking everywhere.
Yeah, and they did a huge search with hundreds of people. I mean, she must have gotten in a car if that's the case. You can't walk that far.
Right. And, that creek, there might be some places to hide, but we have an audio clip of her daughter here saying that she doesn't think she could have walked in the creek.
And a lot of people assume that she was walking down the creek, and that's very, very doubtful. I don't think after being down there that she could have made her way down there.
Margie added, a lot of people assume that she was walking down the creek, and that's very doubtful. I don't think after being down there, she could have made her way down to the creek.
Yeah, they're just saying she's not there.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks later, on December 10th, a Saturday, we were looking for some sign. Well, that sign came to their family. Her purse was found hanging from a tree branch, wrapped around a tree downstream of the creek that runs near the flea market, the one we talked about, Leon Creek. And her daughter, Maria, said her purse was found after we had an unusually high amount of rain, so the creek overflowed. After that was found, we searched the area all around that creek, hoping to find something more, but we didn't. Their effort was halted by nightfall and rainy weather. Maria's family set up a command center on Highway 16 when that purse was found at Applewhite Road. And search crews came, and those looking to volunteer also were at that scene. And it's behind the flea market and on the opposite side of the creek. Margie again said it feels like day one. Where is she? What happened? And there have been massive searches and possible sightings, but nothing has led to finding our mom.
So now it's December 18th in San Antonio at a fundraiser the family had announced. They said, come by and pick up your hamburger plate to benefit the search for Maria. Raffle tickets for the picnic table built by Lone Star Rocker are also available to purchase. And then a day later, December 19th, in honor of Maria's birthday, the family attended noon mass at Immaculate Heart of Mary Church on 617 Santa Rosa Street. The family welcomed everyone who joined them in prayer. They had cake and tried to make it a happy day that it was supposed to be. We just never imagined we'd be crying and sad on her birthday, said her family. We were asking God to give us that miracle of bringing her home to us. We haven't lost that faith. The search continues, and we still need everybody's help.
This family has not given up.
No, they haven't.
They want to find their mother, and they are a very close family, and in a way, a very private family, and yet they've really gotten themselves out there and done the right thing to find their mother.
Yeah, I agree.
It's impressive. So now we're at Christmas 2016. Here's an audio clip of her daughter on how difficult this time of year has been for them.
I mean, we all have kids, and we try our best for our children, but at the same time, it was very difficult to even enjoy Christmas.
And they went on to say, as a family, we talk every night and say, where do we look? Are we sure? Do we want to revisit another area? Someone reported seeing Maria come out of the wooded area near Ingram Park Mall. Another person reported seeing Maria pick an orange off of her property. Margarita said that her family even asked homeless people if they had spotted her in their camps. She said that wherever her mother is, she knows she is disoriented because she has not had her medication. At this point, she's probably afraid. I don't know that she would be as friendly as before. People with Alzheimer's, once they're scared, they tend to avoid people. So I think that if anybody approaches her, she would probably walk away and avoid speaking to them. And that reminds me again, she still had her meds. She was on her meds when she went lost. So she might have still been very approachable.
Right.
And again, the highway. And yet, as she's not on her meds, then that's where she would hide and avoid people. So that's something they're considering.
Now it's December 26th of 2016, one day after Christmas. The family received a tip from across the border. According to a post on the family's Facebook page, several people sent in a photo of a woman bearing resemblance to Maria in Mexico. The family has pursued leads to see if it was her. Junior, her son, had posted on Facebook, "Good evening, we've received a post of a possible sighting of our mother in Mexico. We are looking into it right now. Thank you to everyone who has shared it and reached out to us. We apologize if we have not responded or answered every call. It's been an overwhelming response, but we will keep everyone updated. Thank you once again for your continuous support." And like he said, there was an update later that he posted. "We have confirmed with Mexican authorities that the woman in the picture is not our mother. Thanks to all who called, tagged, and texted information. We will keep looking and appreciate everyone who is doing the same in our efforts to bring home Maria." The Llamas family says they received numerous false messages about Maria being found, and the grandmother's case was recently confused with another missing person who was found safe.
Yeah, grandmother, Mother Maria. You know, this must be a roller coaster ride for this family that, that someone's sighted, looks like their mother, and then they have to check this out and follow through.
Could you imagine getting that phone call, though? I mean, you've been looking for your mom.
Your heart stops.
Yeah.
You're excited. It's a possibility. Has her physical features changed because she's been under a huge amount of stress?
Right.
And now we're checking from San Antonio, Texas, all the way to a rural ranch in Mexico.
Right,
Who knows?
yeah.
We don't know exactly where that location is, but that's a lot of ground to cover. Do you need to go there in person?
I know, I was just thinking if maybe they sent someone down there, but
I know they've done a couple in person that we will get into later, but it's, this is a difficult full-time job. And I just really, from the posts and everything, this family's doing a beautiful job of sticking together, being supportive, being, very kind and giving to the community. The family is using their loss to help others. They stated, "If other people can learn from our story, I hope they do." And here's a little audio clip from Maria's daughter.
I think, after my mom had, walked away from the house twice before this, and, we found her, after an hour or two, I wish we would have, done a little bit more of that research to put that GPS. If other people can learn from our story, I hope they do.
And as Maria's family continues to search, they're also trying to raise awareness about Alzheimer's and dementia.
So now it's January 3rd of 2017. Over the weekend, thieves made off with the trailer storing all of the Llamas family's search supplies.
It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Now, thankfully, the trailer was recovered less than 24 hours later. It was hidden behind a boarded-up house in rural Atascosa County. I think I'm saying that right. Now, Maria's family said they are disappointed that people connected to the house were allowed to walk away from the scene and were not arrested. And later it was reported the individuals have been detained by the Atascosa Sheriff's Department.
So they did follow through and make an arrest.
Right. That's just horrible, though.
Here's this family going through this terrible time.
Yeah.
And they get this trailer donated with supplies and things, and then somebody steals it.
I wonder if it was like someone they knew, or it just sounds like some kids.
I think it was random because
Yeah.
if you had any kind of heart and knew what that trailer was for, I just think unfortunate random.
Now, January 17th, so a few days later, a Nameless account was created for Maria, which is good to get more awareness out there.
Yeah, they're really doing everything they need to do. On January 30th, 2017, family members described the support from those in the community as overwhelming. We're so thankful what everyone has done to help us search for our mom. So many people have become like family to us through all of this. It means the world to us that people care. Each weekend, the family still gathers, but instead of simply sharing in each other's company, the talk has always turned to finding their mother.
So now it's May 14th, so a few months later, it's Mother's Day, and this is 6 months after Maria has vanished. It's a day I'm dreading because it's going to be the first time we don't have our mother, said Maria's son, Junior. Normally, we would be organizing a barbecue and trying to organize something at my parents' house, and of course, we're going to be there, but it's very different. We're missing our key person, which is my mom, and this was all said by her daughter, Margie. Maria's son had told channel KENS5 that each of the siblings has their moments, but they stay united for their father. That's because Mother's Day will also mark the couple's 47th wedding anniversary, and it's taken a toll on himself, Margie said. We've seen him age 10 years years in the last 6 months.
Married 47 years.
Could you imagine?
And now, he's going through this.
That's like your life partner, and she's just gone.
Yes. Yeah. And he's aging quickly. It's just sad.
Now, to support other families who have a loved one with Alzheimer's or dementia, the Llamas family participated in the 5th annual race to remember 5K, benefiting the Alzheimer's Association. Margie offered the following words of encouragement to other families. Having them with you, don't take that for granted. Even if they don't know who you are, tell them every day you love them. They still have feelings, and they're still going to appreciate that.
Then August 10th, 2017, there was an update, another possible sighting. Several members of the Llamas family drove down to the Edinburgh Hospital and met face-to-face with Maria Barrera on Sunday. We were able to talk with her and hold her hand while we looked for specific characteristics applicable to our mother and known only to the children and family. There were no characteristics which matched our mother's, and all in attendance are 100% sure this lady is not Maria.
So that's, again, pretty difficult, getting another kind of a hopes up scenario.
They've had several.
Yeah, you get this call again, you think it's your mom, they finally found her, and then,
They have to go in person a lot
Right.
of times and look for the particular, birthmarks or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's November 20th of 2017. A vigil was held to remember Maria exactly 1 year after she disappeared. San Antonio police say they've exhausted all leads and are once again asking for the public's help. So now January 20th of 2018, since she disappeared, hundreds of gracious volunteers have spent thousands of hours searching fields, creeks, rivers, vacant homes, nursing homes, hospitals, alleys, homeless shelters, homeless camps, and so many more areas. Many of these same areas have been searched multiple times by numerous experienced search teams. We continue to check hospitals, nursing homes, and shelters on a daily basis.
That's really smart of the family to check those nursing homes and hospitals and shelters daily because, again, Maria's not capable of knowing who she is, and at any time she can show up in these facilities.
Right.
So now on February 26, 2018, a missing persons digital billboard was posted up on Highway 10 and Crossroads. My family and I were in tears when we received the news of this billboard being up. We hope someone will see this and call us with information. We are still praying for a miracle.
I have to say, we've done a few episodes where families put billboards up, and I think that is so smart.
Very effective.
You know how many people travel through there?
Right.
And I mean, when I'm driving, I look at all the billboards.
Billboards are very easy to see as you're driving.
So now it's May 7th of 2018. Another search for Maria was held despite the stormy weather on Friday, which hampered efforts with dangerous search conditions. The east side of Leon Creek was covered 100% with an extremely limited view. On the western side, only about 30% was covered because of limited access due to private fencing, steep, dangerous terrain, and extremely heavy brush. Groups were forced to cross the creek through dangerous knee-high swift waters on several occasions in order to continue the trek. There were several volunteers who assisted with ATVs and covered the mission trails and some lakeside areas, but nothing was found.
That's concerning when the creek levels get rapid and flowing, that could be a very dangerous area.
Oh, yeah, and there's, multiple people out there looking, so you have to be careful.
It's not a small creek.
Yeah.
It can actually get moving there, so.
Right. So now on June 2nd of 2018, someone had posted on the Maria's Facebook page, tomorrow you can show your support for families with missing loved ones by participating in the Honk for the Missing between 1 o'clock and 2:30 p.m. Simply drive by the intersection of Thousand Oaks and start honking your horn. Your honk will mean so much.
And here's another event that they're hosting and
I know, I
holding.
haven't heard of the Honk for the Missing before. That's actually pretty cool.
That is neat. And they all have T-shirts and things, if you look on their Facebook page, that they wear in honor of their mother. And I appreciate all the effort that's going out, and they're using this as a sounding board for the Alzheimer's cause as well. So on August 9th, 2018, Maria Llamas states an elderly man gently tapped on her car window and points at a magnetic decal poster of her mom that she had on the side of her car. He said he noticed the decal and wanted to let her know that since they heard of Maria's story, they had been praying for her safe return, and then he gave me a cross. I was speechless, and all I could say was, "Thank you." I just started crying. She stated that although I pretend to be strong, I have to admit this week it's been difficult. I miss you every day and cry. This past year has been a nightmare. I pray that someone comes forward soon with information that will provide answers and lead us to you.
So now August 16th of 2018, there was an update posted on the Facebook page. Thursday, 12 o'clock p.m. Thank you everyone for the messages on the remains found in La Costa, Texas on Wednesday evening. Authorities have notified our family that the remains are not our beloved Maria.
Imagine another missing person, and then they're reporting remains to them. On October 20th, 2018, they had another walk for Alzheimer's, and let our story be a lesson for many.
So now it's December 19th of 2018. On a day that we should be celebrating another year of life for our mother, we gathered instead with only the memories we have of her. Another birthday without her. We wish for the miracle of finding you, Mom. Happy 72nd birthday. December 20th, so this is the next day, we have received confirmation that the remains found are not our mother. We thank everyone for all the thoughts and prayers, and we still have hope. Our search continues. So those remains that we had talked about, I believe,
were not hers, another false sighting.
Right. Now, their Facebook page that they created had about, I think it was 20,000 followers.
Yes,
which is,
I think with their activism for Alzheimer's and also just getting the word out, this family has worked very hard to find their mother.
That's a lot. I think that's the most we've seen on one of the missing episodes.
It is.
Now, the family is also offering a $5,000 reward for information on Maria's disappearance, according to this Facebook page.
Yes, and the San Antonio Police Department is saying foul play is not suspected in her case, but it does remain unsolved. You can call the Missing Persons Unit at 210-207-7660 or the Heidi Search Center at 210-650-0428.
You can also email us at mysteriously-missing411@gmail.com. Check out our Instagram page, which is Mysteriously Missing. We always have pictures up there and maps just so you can kind of follow along in the timeline with us. Check out our YouTube page, share this story, get it out there. Just help this family.
It's our hope that in my mind, I see her, living with a little family. She's lost, and hopefully the family would find her one day. So it is our hope that Maria is found.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.